All right. What is up, everybody? Do a little at home stream. Yeah, so my last stream, we saw the Oslo Independence Day. That was a nice day. Everyone was wearing their little outfits. And I think it's like the only country in the Nordics that does something like that with the trad dress, or even maybe even Europe. They wear the trad dress, and I learned a little bit about it. There's different colors, and it's basically by the region where the family's from, and a lot of the dresses are passed down, and they cost a lot of money because there's jewels and stuff. So it was a pretty fun day, and yeah, fun thing to experience. So yeah, we're just gonna stream. We're gonna talk about some city. We're gonna be writing some city reviews today, and I figured why not live stream it? Kill two birds with one stone type thing, because yeah, I'm trying to create this a travel blog. So I got like 15 articles up of just some things I've been talking about. I also want to make a video for each. I want to make a video along with each article. Like I made like a Barcelona one. I don't know why it's asking me this now. Okay, we'll fix that later. Anyways, get rid of that. So I'm going to write this with the, you have the talk to speak thing. So we're going to write, and here's our city chapters for the review. Intro, people and demographics, areas of interest, price, weather, tourism, nightlife, city layout, public transport, food, dating, safety, digital nomad factor, pollution, overall rating. Now, can you guys think of any chapters I forgot to include? I feel like the biggest things are price, weather, and then things to do, and then safety. Those are the biggest things. So by looking at this, is there anything you guys see that we are missing from the city review? I think this covers most of it. And we'll say hello to everybody. 18 people watching. Hello, Tom. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Christian. Hello, Hugh. Hello, Ellen. And hello, Lee. We got nightlife on there. We have nightlife right here, baby. So I think this covers it all. So let's do, when we talk about London, because I already did, I'm just basically going in order from what I did on the trip. So if we look at Google Maps, type that in terribly. So I already did a Lisbon review, Sevilla, Madrid, and Barcelona. So I did all of Spain, and then I went to Istanbul, but we'll skip that. We'll do London. We'll talk about London, York, Newcastle, Edinburgh. Actually, maybe today we'll just do like all of them. We'll do all the English cities I went to. We went to London, York, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Newcastle, and Liverpool. Now, Newcastle, I was only there for like a day, really, a day or two. I didn't really see much of the city. In Glasgow, I was there for like a couple hours. So it's kind of hard to review that when you were only there for a couple hours. It's not really fair to the city. Really, you got to do a month in a city, I feel like, to really properly review it. I can really review Oslo at this point. I've been here for a couple weeks. But just blowing through these cities in a couple days, you really can't review them that strongly, but you can still give a pretty good impression, I guess. So that's what we're going to do. Hello, Top Cat. How did the rest of the national day go? I mean, yeah, I walked around a bit more, and then I met up with some guy. We did some nightlife and that whole thing. It was okay. It was a decent day. I like the daytime a bit more than the nighttime. The nighttime was a bit it wasn't like an amazing night out or anything. Most people were tired. Most people got up at like 7 a.m. and that whole thing. Hello, Tasso. Hello, Cosmo. All right, so let's do this city review. Let's do this city review. Let's full screen it. Fuck it. All right, let's talk about London. So let's talk about London. The grand city of London, it's one of the most iconic cities in Europe, maybe the world. It's a proper tier 0 city, meaning it's a metropolis. It's a massive city. And I went there beginning of March for a few days and also towards the end of the March for a couple days. So it wasn't a very long time I was there, but it was overall probably about a week. I was in the great city of London. But the question is it actually great? Is this an actually great city that I would live in? Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned and we'll see. So first category is people and demographics. London is an extremely international, globalized city, probably one of the most in the world, with maybe New York City competing. In my opinion, London is probably more globalized than New York City. In New York City, when you're walking around Manhattan, most people feel like they were New Yorkers, besides maybe Times Square. Like, most people were American people in New York City, but in London, it's just like really just everything. And I think that's because, you know, it's Europe. It's connected to Europe. Europe's got like 100 nationalities and all that. Closer to the Middle East, closer to Africa, so there's more immigrants from there. It's easy for them to get to. So I think on that end, it's the most international place you can probably go to. So the negative of this is if you're expecting like some Harry Potter type of world, those days are over. Those days probably ended like 30 years ago. The reality is it's not very British. Actual British people, it's really hard to say. It depends on the area. But overall, I think it's like actual British people is maybe like 20%. Again, really depends on the area. In some areas, it's like 0%. In other areas, it might be 70%. But overall, probably 20. I would say race-wise, maybe like, I don't know, half white. And then the other half is like a mix of African and Indian. And it's basically everything, you know. It's basically everything. So keep that in mind when you're going. So I didn't interact with too many people. You know, people didn't seem mean or anything. But it's a big city. It's the big city atmosphere. People are busy, that sort of thing. But I didn't have any bad interactions on the tube or in the streets. It was all well enough. But again, I'm a single male. I'm a tall single male. I don't think I'm a target for a lot, you know. So I blended in well enough. So keep that in mind. Really, the only people I interacted with Hold on. Do we have the voice to check going? Okay, there we go. Really, the only people I interacted with were my couch surfing hosts, who were nice. They were both very nice. One guy was a history teacher. He was the department head too. He was a history teacher. He's 56. And the other guy, I forget what he did. Something in publishing. He seemed semi-retired though. He seemed like he had a good life. And they were both really cool. They weren't arrogant or anything like that. So we can go to the next chapter, which is areas of interest. This is a very big one, actually. There's a lot in London. There's almost like too much to list, but I think as far as areas go, here, we're going to pull up Google Maps, actually. Okay. I don't think this can run at the same time. Let's see, test. No, it doesn't run. That's annoying. Let's look at London. Yeah, London's just like a big hodgepodge of areas. There's no grid-like system. It's just very, everything's kind of everywhere. But the center is like here. That's kind of the center. No really defined center. Chelsea, Kensington, Westminster. These are all like the nice area. This was like the really nice area, Soho. This was the Times Square area, Piccadilly Circus right here, Chinatown. Chinatown's basically in the, it's like integrated in the Piccadilly Circus Times Square area. Finance area was over here. It's where the big buildings are, City of London. This is a tough one, though. This is a tough chapter. There's just so much to say. It's such a big city. Could write a book on this. Let's see if we have any more people join up. Hello. Let's see. Anybody new? Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Kevin Wu. So, all right. Let's see what we can say. So areas of interest. Actually, I'm just going to skip this one. I'll do it on my own time. Okay, so the price. London is one of the most expensive cities in Europe. Maybe only defeated by Switzerland and maybe Norway. But Norway's not that bad in the real estate. It's bad in the service and the drinks, but the real estate's not bad. So London is very expensive. To get an Airbnb, I think it's easily over $2,000, probably $3,000 for a decent place in the center. And then I think a room is probably half, like $1,500 for a room. I think drinks aren't too bad in the UK in general. They're not too bad. And the grocery store isn't terrible. Like, it's expensive, but it's not destroying you expensive. And I actually quite liked UK grocery stores. The one thing that is bad, though, with the price in the UK, London, which you kind of have to use, is the public transportation is a lot. The tube's a lot. The buses weren't that bad. But what was really bad was like the train say from the airport. The train from the airport to the center was like $20 for like a 20-minute ride. Like, they definitely hit you hard. And then taking the commuter train from Waterloo Station, which is in the center, to my couch surfing host's place in the suburb, still in the city of London, that was like $12 or $14 each way. So like commuting back and forth would cost a lot. So yeah, public transportation, while good there, was one of the pricey things. So again, you have housing's rough. It's bad. Not New York City bad. It's honestly not even. It's probably like 25% to 30% less than New York. Like New York, retarded. London is bad, but it kind of makes sense for like the caliber of the city it is. But I think compared to what the people make there, I guess it's bad in that sense. But yeah, service, it wasn't horrible, wasn't great. I think I got some mash and meat or whatever for like 20 bucks. It wasn't that great. But that was in like Soho. That was like right in the center. So that was like the worst prices. All right, next category. Let's talk about weather. I think London's weather overall isn't great. I was there in March, and honestly, it was pretty decent, even in the beginning. I think I got really lucky in that March. But the weather overall was pretty damn good. It was definitely not really a factor, so to say. Like, it didn't really affect my trip. I was still wearing a coat. But overall, the weather for me in my trip was decent. But I think it can flip-flop. Like, the weather in March could just be terrible, gray and terrible. So, yeah, lots of gray, lots of rain. That's most likely what's going to happen in your London trip. Of course, that's Northern Europe. It's just shitty weather. You kind of know what you're getting into with that, though. That's why a lot of people leave. Next category is tourism. This is another one that's, it's like a big category. Like, okay, it has tons of people going there. Probably number 2 behind Paris. Tons of people from around the world going to see whatever. The Tower of London, the Big Ben, the Parliament, all that good stuff. Honestly, for the blog, I'm just gonna go to ChatGPT and say, give me some stuff for tourism. Because it's like, I saw some stuff. It was okay. I don't see a ton of tourist stuff when I go, like the museums and stuff. I'm just going to use ChatGPT and the blog for the tourism. I'm not going to lie. Next category is nightlife. I walked around a little bit during the nightlife on a Saturday, so I just came in from a bus from Liverpool, and my couch surfing host was in how's it going? So I just come in on a bus from Liverpool, and my couch surfing host was in Camden Town, which is actually like a nightlife hub. I didn't even know that. So he messaged me, he's like, yeah, do you plan on going out tonight? I'm like, no, I've been on a bus all day. But I really could have gone out quite easily because he was literally like a minute away from the nightlife. And then I that's why I did the stream. I was so close. So unfortunately, I wasn't there long enough to like do the nightlife. I just wasn't, what's the word? I wasn't set up enough. I didn't come on the weekend. I didn't really plan on it. I think overall, like, it's a huge spread out city. There's probably like 20 different areas to go out, just like endless areas to go out, endless bars, clubs. Probably hard to choose a place. Same thing as New York City. So it's tough to rate it because it's just like, who knows, maybe one place you went to that night was bad, but if you went to the place 10 minutes away in the other area, it might have been good. There's like too many venues to rate. It's not like here I'm in Oslo, and Oslo's, it's got like 10, 12 places. In the span of a week or two, you can go to all of them if you want to and rate them. You can't do that in the big city. So that's what I'm going to say about nightlife. Next category is going to be city layout of London. So I feel like the city, it's kind of chaotic. It's like the city's like a massive circle. You know what I mean? So there's like the inner city and then like these huge suburb areas. There's no grid system. There's no real center. It's just like a big mash of city. So as far as city layout with these huge cities, I don't really know what to say. There's no real center. Maybe the Piccadilly Circus you call the center. It's just really 10 cities mashed into one. So as far as city layout goes, I would say, I mean, not great. It's just too big for its own doing. So that's what I'm going to say for that. And that's why I prefer smaller cities, a nice 500K pop city, as opposed to these 10 million cities. It's just too crazy. It's too much. Public transport. So we already talked about the price kind of sucks. But the actual public transport was pretty good. You got the tube. There's some newer lines, some older lines. It's not ultra confusing. It's not super simple either. I think I got lost like once. I think it was the black line. I forget what it's called. It got a little confusing. But overall, if you use, Google Maps, directions, you can get to where you need to go just fine. Didn't feel super old, the tube. Didn't feel super new. And again, nothing sketchy really happened on the tube with me. Next, you have the buses, the big double-decker red buses. I like these, and they give the city a nice flair. Seeing them constantly remind you that, like, you're in London, you're in the UK, which I do like. Every 2 seconds you'd see one. They're kind of big and goofy, but it was fun to go to the second floor and try and get a seat in the front, which I managed to do, I think, once. And you get like a nice view. So I'm a big fan of the buses. And there's buses everywhere. Easy to get on. And then you have the commuter trains from Waterloo and all these other stations. Again, they were expensive, but I think they're efficient. So solid public transport. It gets a good grade here. And then, of course, Ubers and Bolts were expensive. I did get wrecked. This is a little story. I got wrecked when I went to Copenhagen. My couch surfing host was in Surbiton, which is in the suburbs. It's not too far. It's like on the same side as the Heathrow Airport. And here, I'll show you guys actually. So I got freaking wrecked. So Surbiton was where my host is right here, Surbiton. And Heathrow's like not that far, It doesn't look that far on the map. Heathrow's huge, by the way. And there was a bus. There's a bus that went there called like I forget what it's called. See, it says an hour on the transit. Yeah, it was the S7L. He said, you go to Kingston, you take the S7L. The flight departed at 5 p.m. And I'd check luggage, so you have to get there like 2 hours before. So I leave the apartment at like 2. I'm thinking, okay, I'm leaving 3 hours early. It's going to take like an hour and a half to get there. I'll get there around an hour and a half, plenty of time. And yeah, I hop on the bus. I'm going to Kingston, and I don't know why, but I'm checking like the Google Maps, the Google directions, and it's saying it's going to take like, instead of an hour, like 2 hours to get there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how? 2 hours? Like, look, this doesn't seem that far, right? 2 hours? So the bus is taking forever. I guess it's like 2:33 at this point. We get to Kingston, and I don't know whether the SL bus, it's like late or something. And I realized like I'm gonna get there like an hour, 50 minutes before the flight, and that's bad. You can't do that at these big airports. I have the checked-in bag, so I got wrecked. I had to get an Uber for like $40. The bus would have been like $5. At Kingston, I got the Uber. The Uber took like 30 minutes. Got there in time. That was still like a travel fail on my part. I should have left even earlier, you know. Should have left another hour early. Should have left at like 1:30, 1 o'clock to get to this 5 o'clock flight. Ugh, so that was bullshit. I've had a couple travel fails on this trip. But yeah, fun little story. Sometimes you get hit hard, you know. $40, not the end of the world. Not the worst thing in the world, but still annoying. Now imagine being in like Orpington. Like look what Orpington is. And having to like go to the Heathrow. Now I guess you can take the tube, because the thing is like I couldn't take the tube because it was just like a weird location. But man, it'd take like 2 hours to get 2.5 hours to get there. Ridiculous. Let's say hello to the chat. Hello, Gigi. Hello, Rebecca. London, honestly, is a nightmare now. The girls are not here yet. I guess not. Hello, Yellowstone. No, we're talking about London. We'll do an Oslo review pretty soon. Hello, Judy. Hello, Marilyn. I think that's everybody. Okay. Dude, I love this text to type. It's so good. All right, let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. Now, you guys know me. I'm not a big foodie, you know. I just go to the grocery store. Half because I'm frugal, I'm cheap. You know, I'm afflicted by that. And half because I don't know, something about the restaurant, you know, I read the Google reviews. I just try not to get wrecked by going to like, you know, the place with like fake reviews and it's not good, and the whole seed oil thing. I'm elitist about the seed oil thing. All lower end food places use seed oil. It's inevitable, except for maybe sushi. But yeah, I hate the whole having to order and, you know, you have a waiter and that whole dynamic. I just want to, I don't know, I'm weird. So I know food is a big thing for some people, but I'm not very good with the food thing. Well, we can talk about the London food anyways. So I got some mash, which is like a potato and meat pie thing, and it was okay. It was like from this chain. I think it was called Mother's Mash. That was the one time I ate out. It was okay at the time, and a couple hours later, I felt it. I felt a little off by eating it, so there's definitely something sus in it. Of course. A fucking course, I know. It had some sus shit in it. Unreal. Because it was like a lower end food place. But overall, food in the UK, you know, it's a multicultural place, so it's not just British food. You can get any type of food you want. It's a big city. I think Britain is now known for its curry. I think chicken tikka masala is now like considered one of the national dishes. So you can always get that if you're there. But yeah, it's like everywhere is kind of the same in the sense that there's now, like, food is now globalized. Like the food, there's things from everywhere there. There's Thai food, there's Indian food, Italian, French, whatever. Especially on the Portobello Street. There's this street called the Portobello Market, and it's just like a big street I walked down. I didn't stream it, unfortunately, but it was kind of cool. It was like a Sunday, this big market, tons of food. So if you don't like British food, it's okay. There's plenty of other things. And British food is really just like beans and English breakfast, which is good, and the mash. And they're not renowned for their food. I like it though, maybe because I'm a little British. Got that little American Britishism, white American. This is what we eat. Steak and potato. I like it. I don't need a ton of spices. I'm basic. I'm good. All right, let's go to dating. Can't really talk about dating because I was only there for a couple days. Again, you need to be there for like a month to really answer this. And of course, when you're like a digital nomad, like dating is never great because like you don't live there. So you can be a douchebag and say, oh, I live here. I'm going to be here for the next year. You can lie about it. I don't lie. I tell the girls like, hey, I'm here for a month or 2 months or whatever. I'm truthful. And this is like, from the dating apps perspective, like Tinder or Hinge or Bumble. So I didn't really do any of that in London because London, first of all, it's like New York City. It's just too crazy, the dating apps, in the sense that there's too many people. If they're active on the dating app, that means they're talking to like 10, 15 other people. If you have a date with them, that's probably their third date of the week. It's kind of messed up. It's a little inhuman, basically. So that's what I think of, London is like just it's too crazy, too many people. You have to find someone that lives near you, too. Like if someone lives on the other side of town, that's going to take over an hour and a half to get to them. That's way too much work. There's millions of people here. You can probably find someone you like that's within 10 minutes from you. It's true. So online dating, didn't try it, but I'm guessing it's intense. You gotta make moves quick if you want to meet someone, basically. And then the nightlife, who knows? Maybe you can meet someone from the nightlife. Maybe not. It's tough out there. I could talk a lot about this, but that's not the focus of the city review. And I guess the third category for getting a date is talking to people on the street, which I don't think would work super well in London. I don't think people want to talk on the street. People are busy with their corporate job or whatever. It's that busy big city life. So again, with the dating, it's a global city. Everything a person could want is there. Every type of race, nationality, look, big, small. It's the big city. It's all there for you. It's just going to be tough because on their side, everything's going to be there for them too. So keep that in mind. Competition is high. And there's a lot of money in London. So that's like another problem. Like, you better have some money if you're there. For a certain type of woman, of course. All right, let's talk about safety. This is hold on. Safety. This is a big aspect into like if a place is good. Because if a place isn't safe, it kind of sucks because you can't walk outside. The worst place I've been is probably like Colombia. Colombia, I was scared to hold out my phone like this while I was at like a traffic light on the side of the road. Never did this. Phone always in pocket. Only checked phone when I was in somewhere, because all it takes is 2 seconds. Some two Venezuelan guys or something on the bike. They hop off the bike. And you know how that goes down. Now your stuff's stolen, you're all mad, and you want to rage quit the place. Luckily, never happened to me, but safety, super important. I think London isn't doing too well in the safety department. The center felt safe enough. Walking around the center felt decent. Walking around Camden Town at night didn't feel like the worst thing in the world. Didn't feel amazing either. It felt like a little sketch. But overall, I came out okay. Again, I'm like a tall guy. Maybe if I was like a small person or like a woman, yeah, it's not going to be a woman alone out there anymore. Hate to say it. Those days are over, people. The days of safety in London, I think, are over if you're a woman. But overall in the center, it was okay. I think the real problem now is the theft. You know, there's tons of videos of the guys on the bike. You know, they go past the dude, snatch his phone. So they got this phone snatcher thing going on. There's a lot of knife crime. I think in some areas of London, like South London or East London, there's drug and crime problems. You know, it's all the same. So make sure not to go in those areas. Oh, and I saw a video. It was like 2 pretend cops walking in like a nice part of London. I think it was like Mayfair or something. And they were purposely like showing off their watch. And some dude tried to rob them, but they were like, you know, they were undercover cops, so they got them. But that's crazy, man. That's like the nice part of the city where people are paying like $5-6 grand for an apartment, maybe more, $1,000 a night hotel, and they're just thieves like that running around. Digital nomad factor. This is the next chapter. The digital nomad factor in London. This is from an American perspective. Let's look at the positives. English, main language, makes sense. So that's good. People speak English. You know, your debit cards, your credit cards will be accepted, no problem. Good treaties with the U.S., all that stuff. Easy to get I think we get 1 year as Americans. We get like 1 year. It's really good. It's like, no, I think it's 6 months. Sorry, 6 months. There's this new ESTA thing now where you have to sign up on an app. You scan your passport. You answer like a couple questions like, hey, I'm not a bad guy. All that stuff. It takes like 5 minutes. And then you pay like $15 or something. And now I have an ESTA, I think, there for 2 years. So now when you go through the immigration control, when you get to the airport, I didn't talk to anybody. It was just a glass door with a scanner, and you scan your passport, takes a picture of you, and then you go through. So there's no interacting with humans anymore in the British passport control, which I think is kind of nice. You know, you don't have to go with a guy, and the guy's like, hey, why are you here? You got to say, oh, tourism, and he might throw some oddball questions out there. Usually they don't. Usually they just don't say anything sometimes. But it's nice to just go through. But again, for the digital nomad factor, yeah, first world city, global city, speak English. And I guess the culture is similar to America. Now, as for the negative, there's a lot of negative. There's not going to be many digital nomads in London because the weather's not good. The price isn't very good. Again, a digital nomad, you're competing with like anywhere you can go to. So you can competing with Thailand, Colombia, Mexico, these places where it's cheap, great weather. It's probably easier to date because, you know, that whole dynamic. So London overall, it's not a hard place to be a digital nomad. It's actually an easier place, I think. You know, it's like a training wheel place. If you're a digital nomad, you just want to try it out. London is actually one of the easier places. But it's not a great place. Because again, price, weather. So I would recommend London to a digital nomad who maybe just wants to try out the lifestyle, and they're nervous about going to like Colombia where they don't speak English, or Eastern Europe where the vibe is just a little weird. Um, yeah. So overall, not very good for the digital nomad. Just mostly because of the price. The price hurts it the most, I think. It's not very exotic either. It's exotic enough for me personally. Like I there's some cool stuff there. But overall, um, yeah, it rates pretty low because most digital nomads are not making that much money. Pollution. I think pollution's. It didn't seem horrible. It depends what you are comparing it to. If you're comparing it to like a Bangkok or like India or Krakow, Poland, bad air there. The air quality seemed okay. It's not amazing. It's like okay, but there are like 4 airports, so all those jets coming in and out, they're spraying out their fumes. All the cars, blah blah blah. It's not very good. Pollution wise, not great. And the city itself, the cleanliness of it, it was okay. It wasn't great either. It wasn't like horrifying, but I think in terms of Europe, it wasn't anything to talk about. Okay. So I guess that's our article. I mean, to my viewers out there still listening, if you're still there with me, did we miss any information? So again, people and demographics, I think I spoke about that pretty well. Areas of interest, honestly, I'm just going to use ChatGPT for this because I can talk a little bit more about the areas, but sometimes you just need a list of things to do, and like, dude, we'll just use ChatGPT. We'll be lazy. I think most content creators are using ChatGPT now. Like, let's be honest. But I think it's okay to use it like a little bit. Like here, I did most of the work. Here was me. Most of this work, all this work was me. But I'm just going to use ChatGPT for like 10% of it. Like the areas I'm a little weak in, I think that's where you can get some help. I think that's fair. So yeah, price, weather. The weather's a pretty basic one. You can just Google it, Probably could have talked more about tourism. So yeah, if we're missing any category, I guess I could talk more about like the visa, and I think there's a few more things I can talk about that we missed here. Then we got to rate it too. Pollution, I'd probably give like a 3 out of 5. Digital nomad factor, probably like a 2 out of 5. Cause yeah, again, it's just expensive, which is the biggest part of the digital nomad factor. Safety, give it like a 3 out of 5. Not amazing on the safety, not horrible either. Dating, it's probably like a 2 out of 5. It's probably not great. Food, probably like 4 out of 5. Just gets hit on the price probably. Public transport, would say like 4 out of 5. Again, the price knocks it down. City layout, I don't know, maybe 2 out of 5. It's just too big for me. Nightlife, maybe 3 out of 5. Tourism, I'd go 5 out of 5 on the tourism. If you're coming for a few days and you want to do the tourist thing, we'll give it a 5 out of 5. It's strong. Strong tourist place. Weather is like probably like a 2 out of 5. Price is probably like a 1 out of 5. It's expensive. Areas of interest, we can do 5 out of 5. And then people and demographics, we can do maybe like a 3 out of 5 for the people. People kind of hurt there, you know, but just kind of a mishmash of everything. So 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 2. What would you guys rate overall rating? If you've been there, you watched my stream with it, what should we give it on the overall rating? Hold on, let me check the chat. If we have some lovely people still with us. Talk about how well or poor you're received as an American visitor. How would you put that as a category? Hello, Lutra. Sports and entertainment. Lots of football and musicals. I don't know what to say about that one as far as like a city review for like a traveler. Like, yeah, they have like the football teams, but that's something I really don't know. What would you call a chapter of that for like this whole thing? What would you call that? Poland and Hungary are safe. Yes, they are. Rebecca says, thank you. Barcelona is surprisingly cheap. Have you ever seen the REM video Uberlin? That part of London? No, I haven't seen that. I worried about the guys on the mopeds. If you do walk sketchy neighborhoods, make sure you talk like a tough guy. So maybe London sucks in safety. Cafe. I mean, London and Sevilla, Michael Franco are so different. It's really hard to like. It's really hard to compare the two. They're two different categories of city. Sevilla is like a small 500K pop tier 2 city. London's like a massive city. So to compare London, you got to compare like to New York, Tokyo, Shanghai, like those types of places. Do I like street food? Do they got seed oil? Oh no. Friendliness to tourists. Let's see. Maybe like foreigner factor, like friendliness to tourists is kind of okay. Yeah, we can talk about this. Since London is so big and international and the people are so used to tourists, I feel like no one cares that you're American. No one says, oh, your accent's interesting. Where are you from? That didn't really happen. No one cares in London at this point. There's just too many people. It's too international, too globalized for people to really care about you in that sense. It's more of a neutralness, you know. It's just a neutral, people trying to get through the day type thing. Yeah. Not friendly, but not unfriendly. So that's my opinion. Yeah, this text-to-speech thing doesn't really pick up everything. Okay, foreign factor. Oh, stop. Anything else? Anything else, people? Oh, I know one. Actually, I'm thinking of a few. One I think we can talk about is geographic location. You think that would be one? Like look at where it is on a map. It's like, you know what I mean? Oh, maybe we could talk about the flights. Yeah, that's a good one. We could talk about the flights. The flights, the airport, that's a big one. That's definitely a consideration. Let's talk about that. Maryland, I talked about transportation, public transportation. Yeah, London. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the airport. So I believe London has 4 airports in total. The biggest one is Heathrow. It's actually the busiest airport in Europe, I believe. And that is on the west side of the city. And then you have Gatwick Airport, which is a bit smaller. I think hosts smaller flights. That's on the south part of the city. Where's the... I know there's Luton. Where's like the other one? I think there's 4, right? Dude, it's giving me like 10 airports. Southend. Okay. It's Heathrow, Gatwick, Luton, and Stansted. Now, where's Stansted? Has anyone flown into Stansted? Oh, it's fucking north. Here. Oh, I gotta show you guys. Damn, look at so Luton and look at where Luton is. Luton and Stansted are super far. So these are like where like the cheap shitty airlines are. In Luton and Stansted, the cheap shitty airlines, super cheap, but they're far from the city. Like getting into the center of the city is going to take like 2 hours to get there. Damn. Okay. Now we have that info. Thank you, Google. Let's see. So Heathrow, Gatwick, Luton, Stansted. So yeah, lots of airports. Every airline goes to it. Cheap, expensive. And they got everything. Great flights from America. Great connections. And again, this is, it's kind of like living in New York City. One of the benefits of living near the big city is you can go anywhere, anytime you want, because you have that good flight connection. You know, I'm from Long Island. I think Long Island kind of sucks. One thing I do admit is nice is that I am about an hour away from JFK, which I can go anywhere. And then when coming back home, it only takes an hour. Some people, they got to fly to JFK. They got to take another flight to like the Midwest or something. And then they got to they have like a 4-hour drive home. Just like insanity. Just a ton of work. So I'm pretty lucky that I'm somewhat close to a major airport. And if you live in London, same thing. You're pretty close. So that is a big factor. We're probably going to have to give the airport probably a 5 out of 5. Now, is there any other chapters or information you guys should go into this city review? Anything else specifically about, traveling, whatever? I really need a second monitor to read this chat, but whatever, just gotta. Luton Airport is in Bedfordshire. Travel guides aren't hard to find. What's your angle? My angle is I'm giving my review. I mean, everyone has different opinions on places. I'm just giving my opinion on London. Now we're not really reinventing the wheel here, so to say, but I'm just giving my personal thoughts on it. LaGuardia looks really nice now. Yeah, I think I've been there once. I took a Spirit flight to Colombia, but that was a couple years ago. All right, bye, Rebecca. I think she left. All right, you guys, cool. So thanks for joining me on writing this review. Now we'll let's see what ChatGPT does. Overall, what would I give London overall? It's kind of a tough one. I think we have to give it 2 ratings. Tourism, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. It drops down 1 point because of the price. Price isn't good. And then digital nomad rating. Yeah, probably like a 2. Not amazing. So let's we're going to take all of this and go to ChatGPT. Hello, I am writing a travel blog article. I have written most of it. Can you make it look nice? And can you please keep the same tone of writing? Let's see how it does. Dude, I hate how the AI talks sometimes. It's so corny. It's so corny. It is pretty epic how you can do this though, man. Like, because this is all like, it's like a mash of words. And the chat GPT in seconds can just make it like a nice, fluent, congruent thing. It's crazy. So many jobs are over because of this. As soon as this gets better in the next year or two, so many jobs are over. We need UBI. We need that UBI soon, baby. Go to Vancouver. I heard Vancouver's all like Indian people now or something. Like it's like Canada's like a weird place now. The boomers destroyed Canada. No one knows why. The boomers have destroyed Canada. All right, we got our article. Nice. Come on. Yeah, it's freaking over, man. AI is just going to take over everything. It's probably going to take over YouTube too. Oh, you guys want to see a crazy video? Look at this. Google's new AI just made brain rot worse. So let's look at this video. Let's look at this video.
Okay, so this is how you start. You find a tree and you just like, punch it down.
Oh, I wasn't showing it. My bad.
Okay, so this is how you start. You find a tree and you just like, punch it down.
So this looks like, like a stupid young kid video. He's a Minecraft streamer, whatever, Some people like that content, younger kids, Minecraft players, whatever. This whole thing is fake. This isn't a real person. This is AI. That's an AI generated person. It's an AI generated voice. And I don't know what the video is from. Maybe the video is like, it was some random person taping themselves hitting a tree in Minecraft, and then they add this guy in there with the AI. Like, dude, it's over. Because it looks pretty freaking real.
This is how you start. You find a tree and you just like, punch it down. Okay, so this is how you start.
Can you tell that's AI? The eyes are kind of bad. The eyes are a little fake, but man, it's like you really have to look at that. Like, dude, it's over. What's stopping hundreds of millions of people in the third world or whatever just from pumping out videos like this? Just fake videos, and the internet just gets flooded. It's over. It's fucking over, man. Because this is only going to get, maybe say, oh, it's not that great. Guess what? In 2 years from now, it's going to be way better. By 2030, think about how good it's going to be. They're making these massive warehouses full of chips, and they're going all day, just running all day, just to power the AI. The AI is just going to get powerful and powerful. Tom says, go to California. Tom, I think you should go to California. You're retired. You got a lot of time and money. I think you should go there. Unfortunately, now it's not your review. It's ChatGPT's. I disagree because really what matters is your opinion on things. If you ask ChatGPT their opinion on London, it would just be a bunch of bullshit. It would just be a bunch of like super happy-go-lucky things. But this was for me. It just cleaned it up. Like this is 90% me. But why wouldn't you use AI to clean it up? You know, like why would I take like 2 hours to clean up the article when this did it in 2 seconds? You know, like if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, you're basically losing at this point. Every kid in school is using AI. Every kid in high school, middle school, probably elementary school is using some Chat GPT or Claude or whatever. They're all using this. Like to fight against it is just, I don't think it can be done. Tourism to Dublin's way down. Yeah, I think Dublin's getting messed up with the immigration. Dude, the immigration's everywhere. It's so annoying, man. It's like, can't like one place not do it? Can't like one place just say no to that? Like, come on. Scotland wasn't that bad. But it really is everywhere in Europe, man. Except for like Eastern Europe. I'm so mad Romania, man. I wanted to go to Romania, but it's in the Schengen now. It joined this year. That's so annoying. Can't go there now. Can't go to Bulgaria. I could go to like Serbia. I've been there. It's cheap. I don't really like it that much. It's not really my vibe. Go to Albania. I don't love these places, but I might have to go there in the fall. Montenegro, Bosnia, Kosovo. Yeah. I don't know yet. Does that mean writing as a skill is over? No, because well, the chat GPT is not good at, like, it's not like amazing at it yet. It's still very limited in how it says things. You really need to still guide it. When it's truly over is when a human doesn't have to guide it and it's just smart enough to like make good content on its own. Like all the time on Reddit, there's now like these AI bullshit stories, and most people can tell. All right, guys. What should we do? Should we do another one? You guys want another city review? All right, it's on the internet. Yeah, dude. You know what pissed me off? You know what pissed me off so much? So this website's not done yet. I started working on it like right before I started traveling, and I paid some guy like $50 to make it, and this is all like fake. He didn't really do like an amazing job. He kind of annoyed me. He's from like Pakistan or something. So I think the next guy, I'll for the website. I'll pay a little bit more. I'll get a guy from the West. And yeah, we'll make the site. But he did make me this, which is kind of cool. I like this little art. But what pissed me off is, you see, it's peterwins.co. Peterwins.com was taken, but it wasn't being used. Like, there's no website. It was just like someone bought the domain name, because the .com is a domain. That's like the formal word for it. And you can buy any domain you want, and it costs like $10. Unless the domain's taken or it has like a cool name like to it, then it'll cost more. So like makemoney.com probably costs like $100,000 for the domain. That's just an example, because it's like a good domain name. And you can buy any domain for $10, and you can sit on the domain for a year before you have to, rebuy it. So peterwins.com was taken. So I went peterwins.co, and I looked up peterwins.com, and it was available in like 2 months. So I was like, okay, I'll buy the .co, and then when the .com becomes available, because .com is always the best, I'll make it on the .com and just transfer everything. It's pretty easy. So yeah, I was traveling a lot. I wasn't really paying attention. But what happens is someone bought... Oh, what happened was, like, a couple people emailed me in March, and they're like, yeah, I have the peterwins.com domain. Do you want to buy it? And I didn't reply because I knew they'd want like a lot. Because the domain... I would pay $10 for the domain. That's what a domain costs, $10. So some guy bought, when the domain became available in March, some entity, some company or whatever, bought the domain, and they probably bought the domain peterwins.com because I had peterwins.co, and they probably looked it up and saw it was like an actual website that someone was hosting, and they probably bought it just so that if my website ever grew and I wanted the .com, I would have to buy it from them. And right now, if I go to peterwins.com on like a site like Namecheap or any of these domain sellers, it costs $3,000 fucking dollars. For peterwins.com is $3,000, which is insane. It's like, dude, like, Peter Wins isn't really like a common thing you'd name a website, you know? It's just a play on my real name. Now, I think I could buy it for less than $3,000 if I emailed the people, but they'd probably want like $500. So they buy it for $10, and then they're hoping like in a year from now or whatever, I'll buy it from them for $500. That's the whole that's the whole domain business. So people sit on these domains in literally the hope that like something like that happens. So that just pisses me off so much that if I waited a couple of months to create this, I could have got the .com probably for $10. And instead, a few months ago, I made this. I kind of fucked around with it, wasn't serious, and now someone else has the domain. I don't think I'm ever going to buy it from them. That's just so annoying. Because they're probably going to want a couple $100. And it's like, first of all, bro, these websites don't really make much money in the first place. So I can't really justify paying that. Right now, the site's not even done, so it makes no money. So yeah, just a little rant. Just a little insight into the domain world. There's a domain battle going on. Whole other sector of the internet. Yeah. Change it to Peter Wins. I mean, it doesn't look as good. Yeah, Yeah, $11. Yep, 3,000. Premium domain. Look at that. Yeah, fucking right. And this one's taken. So you can make an offer. That's so dumb. I give you $1 million. Requires a minimum of $200. Oh my god. Nah, I mean, it's got to be Peter wins, man. Because wins. We're winning. We're winning at life. Let's see makemoney.com. Makemoney.com wants $5 million. Nice. Is makemoney.com an actual... See, it, someone is literally holding on to this domain. It's not even a website. Someone is holding on to the domain just so that hopefully one day someone will buy it. So it's like a whole different market. It's a whole different world of just randomly buying domains, and hopefully, a year or even 5 years later, this person probably bought this domain in like the 90s, like 1995 or something. They probably bought makemoney.com and they're just holding it. But the .co, I mean, the .co kind of looks, it's just like the com's not there. It's .co. It's whatever. All right. Should we call it a night, or should we do another review? Someone mentioned Dublin before. I would go. I've never been to Ireland, and my philosophy is that there was always value in going to a place at least once. That's in the Western world, Africa. I'm not going to Africa. You don't have to go to the Congo, You don't have to go to Ethiopia. You can cross out large swaths of the world. But I think as far as Europe goes, I do believe that going to a country like Ireland is definitely worth the time. And if it sucks, you never go back. Go for a week. If it sucks, you never go back. I'm in Norway now. I need to see more of Norway, because Oslo is just like, I think Oslo is hated by most Norwegians. Like the Norwegians living in Haugesund, they probably think Oslo is a shithole. They're like, I'm not going there. So we got to go to Bergen. Bergen is where I really need to go before I leave this country. We got to hit Bergen, I think. I know there's more to hit. There's always more, but I think that's simple. It's pretty far, though, which is annoying. And then Tromsø. I showed you guys Tromsø up here. I don't think I'd go up there. Too lazy. Hello, Mandy. Yeah. Then I have a friend going to Helsingborg down here, so I might go there and visit him for a little bit. Be nice to have a bro to hang out with. Be nice to have a bro. All right. We could do a Medellin. We could do Medellin. The next one on the list would be York, actually, if we still want to keep it to the UK. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We'll do York City review. And then we'll take all the chapters. Keep it all uniform and nice. As well as we have to add the airlines in. Oh, I should add like geographic location. Does that make sense? Like where the city is in the country, where the country is, all that. So we'll add that in there. You have to see some fjords. Yeah, I know. There's like a ton of them in this country. There's a ton, and I don't know which one to pick. All right, you guys. I think we'll. What should we do now? What should we do now? I gotta cook. Yeah, should we do a cooking stream? I don't know. I have to turn on. I could do it pretty easy, actually. All right, guys, I'll be in the Discord tonight if you want to hop in the Discord. So you can always hop in the Discord if you want to talk. Hello? Let's see if anyone will come in. Does anyone here play video games? Here, I'll stop recording. Does anyone here... We have any gamers here? I've always liked video games. I know they're not good to play in your middle ages. I feel like video games are something that should be done your early life and then your late life. Like when I'm old, I'll be playing video games. If I'm an old man, can't walk, I'm playing video games all day. But when you're middle age, you really can't do it 'cause you got like other things you should be doing. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, maybe we'll do another one tomorrow. We'll do another city review because it's kind of nice for me to live stream and then like do that work at the same time. It kind of feels nice. And then from there we can either I'm gonna like make a whole new video with like the camera not in the OBS. We'll see how the recording came out, actually. We'll see how the recording came out. But we might make a whole new video with the camera, like a higher quality one, and then post the review. As well as... some of the video footage we have. A lot of video footage. Oh, I gotta take it off.
Look at that shit, all those birds. Wow, look at all the birds.
That was Stockholm. Dude, I have so much video footage from the walking. It can all be made into videos. I think I should just pay someone to just, I don't know, make videos out of these or something. This was Stockholm. All right. See you guys later.
beer.
Hey, I'm gonna cook now. I'll see you later, okay?